What's up, guys? Ben here. Welcome to another episode of Scrap Time. We are midway through the Major 2 cycle, and we have an online tournament coming up this weekend. No Major 2 qualifying matches. We have the Minor 2 tournament. So on today's episode, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through a bracket and make our predictions and see if this group of distinguished gentlemen can somehow nail 100% on the bracket. If we do that, well, it bodes well for March Madness. If not, well, so be it. As always, I'm joined by our great crew. I'm going to start with Cap, Mr. J Cab, Jordan Kaplan in the top right, multi-world champion.
Indeed.
Coach, manager, player.
Never a manager.
Yeah, never manager. I was tripping with that one. We got Sam, Octane LaRue, bottom left. The GOAT, the human turret, absolute legend. His cam might bug out during the show. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
We'll see. And then bottom right, we got my guy Chelly, always printing cash. Somehow, Chelly, we'll start. Not last week, but somehow Chelly, as you know, my New York Rangers are ass. But somehow, yet they keep winning games. They get outshot. They get outplayed. They go down to 4 defensemen. Somehow we're stacking dubs.
Yeah, your fourth line's goated. That's all I'll say.
I don't know how it's. I love fourth line was an abomination last night, and somehow it worked. But yeah, Chelly, starting with you. How you doing? How you doing this week? What have you been up to?
I'm chilling. Got an exciting stream tonight. Getting coached by a pro COD player because Sam Octane LaRue wouldn't do it. No, I'm joking. I didn't ask Sam. I didn't ask Sam. So that'll be hype. The matches last weekend were kind of brutal, but I'm really excited for the minor, honestly. And yeah, no more land minors or whatever. So we're not. I mean, I would have loved this to be on land personally. I know you guys probably would have too, but I guess we'll just be all right being online for now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go to you, Sam, next. What have you been up to and your thoughts on last weekend's 3-0?
It might have been the last or the worst weekend of matches in the CDL ever. Last week. As for me, just redid my setup, got a new computer. Yeah, it's pretty much it's only new shit for me.
How's the new PC? Good?
Yeah, shit's godlike. I went from like less than console frames playing COD streaming on it, and I have a 360 hertz monitor now to like 300 frames. It's like a shock to the system.
So you're on a one PC setup now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you always been one PC?
Yeah.
QPC was like a wave for a bit, but I'll be honest,
it's just too much, bro. I don't need all that shit.
It just adds, like, as a streamer, I know we don't have probably a lot of streamers watching, but as a streamer, it just complicates everything about your setup, from like audio to video.
I refuse to deal with that.
Just creates sync issues, performance boosts. Bro, you get a beefy PC now. You can do plenty with that.
I still have one from when I thought about being a streamer, and I hate it. I'm too lazy to get rid of it, so suck.
Wait, so you just have like an extra PC laying around?
Well, I still use it. I still have like a gaming one, and then the other one I use for everything else. But I don't know. It's not necessary.
Nice is like issues if like your stream crashes, your stream doesn't actually turn off. That's the only positive that I care about.
Well, I originally got a new PC because my one was like outdated, but then the whole nightmare happened. The new graphics card I got didn't work, so I just have shitty graphics cards in both now.
Yeah,
absolute disaster.
I'm sad we missed out on a JCap streaming arc, man. Damn.
What'd you say?
You could have blown up streaming, man. You could have been the next big thing.
But
JCap's in that.
JCap used to stream all the time back in the day.
Way back in the day.
Good 8s gameplay.
Closet door in the background, ice cream in hand.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Back during Cap's prime years, bro.
I was like 22.
Well, I fear just like all of us, those years have passed on by.
Yeah, I don't know.
Other than that, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
Tesla just fucked me.
That's bad.
That wasn't fun.
Shout Elon Musk.
But yeah. Besides that, it's been fun. It's been a great week.
Other than you getting screwed on the stock market like everybody else.
Yeah. It's all down.
Not a good week to look at your 401k. I recommend don't pull that page up this week. Better days ahead. Word is any. But enough about that chatter. We have the minor tournament coming up this weekend. We're going to spend most of the show talking about that, and we'll get to questions at the end. So you guys want to just kind of jump in? I have a bracket thing kind of pulled up here that we can kind of use to go through the matches, give our score predictions, and we'll see if we nail this one like on point. You guys down for that?
Yeah.
All right. So we have 4 round 1 matches. It's a single elimination tournament, and the change from minor 1 to major to minor 2 is that minor 1 finals for a best of 5. The finals in this one will actually be a best of 7, matching when we get an actual LAN tournament. So a W there, even though, again, single limbs, so some funkiness can go down. The way that this bracket was seeded, if you are not aware, is that it was seeded after the completion of the Major 1 tournament based on CDL point standings at the time. So the top 4 seeds all got to bind in the second round, and everybody else had to play in the first round. That's how FaZe, Toronto, Toronto played good online. Thieves and FaZe were obviously grand finalists, and Carolina getting top 4 and playing good online is why you have those as the 4 seeds. So we have Boston versus Vancouver, OpTic Vegas in the top half, Rocker and Cloud9, and Miami Heretics and LG on the bottom half of the bracket for round 1. Is there any particular matchup you guys want to start with, or want me to just pick one?
Just pick one.
Just pick one, Benja. Guide me.
Let's start with the top half of the bracket. We'll start with Boston, Vancouver, because I think there's a bit of an interesting storyline going into that match. I will pull up the individual match page here in a sec on Breaking Point, but we were pretty high on Boston going into the split. They have sort of petered off, and we have a lot of concerns about the direction of that team. And then Vancouver, if you are new here or have not watched them in a while, they actually had a poor Major 1 split, and they actually made a roster change, bringing in Neptune, who you may remember from the first early years of the CDL, and they've been frying. A little bit cut off here on the screen, but they've beaten FaZe, C9, and Gentlemate so far. The split 3-0 start, as opposed to the Boston situation you see as they are 2-2 with wins against Vegas and Gentlemates and losses against Toronto and C9 last weekend. So I am going to start with you, Chelly. Right now, Vancouver favored minus 263 on house bets. You probably agree, and we probably all agree, Vancouver will probably take it in this one.
Yeah, I'm going Vancouver right now. They've looked like a different team since Nep came in. And obviously something to note is Breach, the first weekend of qualifiers for the Major 2, had like a much easier couple of games. So we saw players like Cammy have like really good matches, and Wake, obviously, like the ARs especially, play really well, which was a big concern for them. But, since we've seen their recent matches, they've kind of returned to that form that they were struggling with on LAN, and they were struggling towards the end of Major 1 qualifiers. So I do think that Vancouver Surge take this. I don't think it's as much of a blowout as people are going to think. But I'm going Surge for sure. Probably 3-1.
If you guys are curious on the game mode stats, last 60 days, Boston 10-7 on a hard point, but they've fallen off a little bit recently in the last couple of weeks on that. 8-8 for Vancouver, but again, this is factoring in last split. The S&Ds are where Vancouver has a little bit of advantage because they've been on a super run in S&D with a 3-0 protocol in recent days, whereas Boston has really slid 10 losses in S&D in that mode. And then Vancouver is above 500, Boston below 500 in control. Sam, do you agree? You're probably thinking Vancouver in this one?
Yeah. I get my take on this Boston team last week, and I think it aged pretty well throughout last week's matches as well. I mean, the team just doesn't excite me anymore. Vancouver, I'm the polar opposite. They're on the upswing for sure. Nep's been awesome. Their search has been great. So yeah, I mean, I would be shocked, to be honest with you, if Boston won this. I think Vancouver is just a better team right now.
Gab, what do you think? And what do you think the score line is going to be?
I think in Vancouver, probably a nice 3-1. I'll give Boston 1. 3-1 or 3-0. I don't know. Boston they just look lost out there. Last week was bad. I think, like Sam said, Vancouver's on their upswing. I think Nep was a great pickup. They're hitting a good form here, and Boston, I think they're in blow it up territory. If not already there, they're getting damn close. Sorry, my dog's barking on.
Okay, you guys think are we giving Boston a map, or are we thinking 3-0?
We could do 3-1, but
3-0.
Never mind.
I'm down for the
I'm saying 3-0. You can say 3-1. I'm down 3-0.
Fuck them.
I'm down for the 3-0.
Depending on what map 1 is, hardpoint could be close, but there's like seeding in this, so obviously like Surge are gonna get the first map pick, right?
It depends if Vancouver takes Team B.
Yeah, if they get Team A.
Yeah. There are a couple of these, but I mean, I think people got to respect protocol now against Vancouver in all modes. They've just been on the protocol roll with Neptune, and Boston have been pretty iffy on that mat as of late. So, and Boston's red card's obviously fallen off a fucking cliff too. So tough scenes there. All right, I think we all agree we're on Vancouver, but obviously you never know, that could be a potential big upset. Let's talk about a series that a lot of people are going to want to talk about. I don't think the upset is there, and I'm going to start with you, Sam. OpTic versus Vegas. Much been said of this OpTic Texas team in recent weeks.
I'm shutting it down, bro. OpTic 3-0, man. I know that there's copers out there, bro, that want OpTic to lose this series. Oh, it's going to be close. No, it's not. It's not going to be close. They're going to get 3-0 like they always do, and we're going to move on. It's cut and dry.
I agree. I think the story would be hilarious, but I think OpTic's gonna. I don't know if they're gonna get back, but it's gonna be a win where they think they're back.
I sure hope they don't think they're back
If
after
a
beating Falcons.
Falcons win, holy shit, that we're back.
You need anything. You just need anything when you're in their
You
position.
need to see the ball go through the hoop for sure.
Yeah.
I think the way
Nice
that,
layup.
that this plays out for OpTic, because they should beat Vegas 50 out of 51 times. And I mean, even without poorly they're playing, like the skill diff and the ability to close out and respawns, yeah, they could definitely, with the way they're playing, lose an S&D right now to Vegas or a vault control type situation, but they should be able to win the other maps, and it should be a 3-0 or 3-1. It's going to be, and we'll get to a dead OpTic Toronto series. Like, that's the real bar. If you can get past Toronto and you get the momentum, and you're going to probably play either another good team in Vancouver or FaZe, like, the momentum you get from that is key. But if they lose to Toronto, you're just back to this, okay, well, we're clearly the 11th or 10th best team, and we're just kind of really stuck in the mud still. So I know some of y'all want us to pick the upset, but let me look up right now. I'm curious. What are the odds on it?
Even the people that are picking the upset, they're not picking it for logical reasons. They're just picking it because they don't like OpTic and they just want Falcons to win. It's not like there's any real reasoning in which OpTic should lose this.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
No.
If OpTic lose the map 1, if they somehow get their first hardpoint win against OpTic, are you calling concern that OpTic might lose the series if the OpTic loses map 1?
No, because Vegas is not going to win a game 5 if it gets there.
I'll say still
Potentially,
no.
because there could be an 0-2 there.
And then OpTic's going
Right.
to reverse sweep them because Vegas.
OpTic would have to. If they lose map 1, if Falcons get their first hardpoint win, I think that there's potential for an 0-2 there because Falcons is like a serviceable search team. So, I mean, they could be down 0-2 and they could have to reverse sweep, but I just don't think there's any world in which they win a hardpoint.
Yeah,
It's not even a Skyline or a Vault. Like,
No.
I don't know.
well, OpTic's
I think
vault has
those would be
been
the toughest to win.
OpTic's vault's been horrific as of late. I mean,
Everything's been horrific.
yeah. And then Skyline, I think Skyline's probably pretty doable. I mean, every Vegas Falcons Skyline map goes the same, bro. They play the first
true.
rotation decently close, but they scam a lot of holds. They let a team blow them away on the second rotation. They lose by 100. It's like literally played out the same way the last 4 times they played it. They just don't know how to close out maps and situations and get clean P3 holds. And yeah, no.
It's going to be a boring Falcon series.
Yeah.
Same old, same old.
Don't know what maps OpTic's going to play. People asking in chat. I mean, I don't even think they know their map set because they're 0-4 right now in this split. So not picking the upset. We will move on to some of the better games. The bottom side of this winner's bracket is pretty fun. We're going to start with what I think is probably potentially the match of the first day. Minnesota Rocker versus Cloud9 New York. Much was said also about Cloud9, about whether they should make a roster change or not. And these guys have now banged off 3 wins out of their last 4. Their only loss to Vancouver Surge in a game 5. And obviously Vancouver have been pretty good 3-0. But 3-0 is in the other 3 matches against Boston, Vegas, and Toronto. Flip side, on the Rocker side, is they have also seemed to finally really start to win series clean. 2 3-0s against OpTic in Vegas. They lost 3-0 to Carolina, but they did beat Miami 3-1. So I'm going to start with you, Cap. Think this is a game 5 series? You think one of these teams is in better form and closes out in 3 or 4?
Who'd you say? I just blacked out.
Minnesota and
Rocker.
Cloud9.
I don't know. I think I would still go Minnesota here. Cloud9's been looking a little better, but I think I don't know. I like this Minnesota team. I'm not as high on them as Chelly, but I think they got some real good pieces. Paul's been better, and he was my main concern, like coming into this stage. And I think they're a pretty consistent team for the most part.
Chelly, you're the Rockers' biggest fanboy. You said they're going to win an event. You didn't specify online or LAN, by the way.
No. I mean, I asked Sam too. I was like, Sam, if Rocker win the minor, like, are we counting that? He's like, no. Sam's like, no. I was like, okay.
Absolutely not.
But do you guys agree that you think Rocker, with the way they're playing right now and how Surface have been online, like there's a plausible world in which they, on the bottom side of this, get the finals and maybe close?
I mean, they could, but they would have to be what, LAT?
Yeah, LAT is on the bottom side of that. I'll
Yeah.
show you the bracket. So LAT is on the bottom side in Carolina. And on the top side, you've got to think if you had to pick two teams, it'd probably FaZe or Vancouver. One's the top matchup is probably favored.
Yep.
So they're gonna have to beat. They're probably to be realistic, assuming that Vancouver doesn't lose to FaZe, they have to beat both grand finalists probably from major one. So I don't think it's impossible, but I mean,
Yeah, it's definitely a tough
I'm high on
road.
Rocker. The way they're playing right now,
Did you
I
pick
just
C9 to beat them on the flank.
I picked them. I might have.
You picked C9 to beat them on the
I
flank.
might have. And C9's
Don't
actually
you change your heart?
C9's
Don't you
actually
come over here,
No.
Benja.
Hold on. I
Don't you come
am
over
sitting here just trying to walk you through the scenario. The
No, you picked
possibility.
C9 because Dylan Attach was in chat.
That is true. Dill is
we're
my boy.
pandering.
Dill is my boy.
Yeah.
Always got to give respect to Dill, even though he did try to get me fired once.
Guys
As
playing
manager.
both sides of the fence. I won't allow it.
He did try to get me fired once, but he's still my boy. I still had great times with him back in the day. I mean, I got to respect what C9's doing, especially last week. I thought, and I don't know what your guys' thoughts, this series against Boston was really clean out of them last week. I mean, Sam, I know we talked about on the flank, like that Hossie hardpoint and the
Everything.
control were
The whole
so
series.
clean.
The vault search was the best search I've seen this whole fucking season.
Did you
Other
guys
than
talk
that
about
6 out of face head.
Did you guys talk about like the ping cheese there or whatever Wake was saying? Did you
Yeah,
brought
we
it.
did.
We brought it up, but I don't know. Dill was saying that the pings were the same and that Boston didn't complain about it like behind the scenes at all. So I don't know how much water that carries. I think Paul just kind of said something out of, just being confused on the server selection. I think it kind of started a narrative as opposed to it actually being true. Because we didn't hear anything from the players. Usually when something like that happens, you'll get a tweet or you'll hear something, but I haven't heard shit from anybody. So that leads me to believe that they just kind of got shit on.
Wow, that's concerning for sure.
I think Paul might have deleted his tweet.
I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm saying, because like Dill was in the chat, he was saying that again, Boston had the same pings as them. There was no issues with the server selection pre-game or anything like that. So again, that leads me to believe that they just C9 just beat the fuck out of them. I don't know.
What do you guys think? What are we predicting in this one? I'll stick with my C9 prediction, but I mean, I think there's a game 5 or.
I took Rocker on the show. I think both teams are in like a relatively similar spot. They're both trending upwards. Everyone's starting to play well. But I like Rocker strictly for the map set that I think is going to be in the series. So I went with them now. I'm going to stick with them.
We're 1-1.
3-2
So
Rocker.
you're going 3-2.
Yeah, I
Rocker?
think like a game. Yeah, like it's going to be like an insane 3-1, 3-2 probably. It should be a really good series.
Again, we need some close series.
It should be a good series.
Chelly, if you had to pick one prop you're thinking about, one more or less from this series, who do you think's going off? Who do you think's getting shit on?
I probably wouldn't take any lesses, honestly, because this is about to be a bang out bloodbath. I mean, we could see a Hossie hardpoint low key, but I would probably be targeting Sib just because how good Dante's been shooting as of late. And he's been bringing out that sub, and he's looked even like, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention when he brings out that sub. I mean, he's giving me like Cell vibes when Cell brings out that sub, and when Dante brings out that sub, like honestly, a game changer. They flip a game on the head. So I'll probably go Dante. I'll be looking at him 1 through 3 for sure. I think it's gonna be a bang out.
These are Dante's stats is split, and they are really good, as opposed to the .82 he was dropping in stage 1. Like these are the numbers that we expected from
started
him.
playing crazy.
Yeah, Dante said in an interview and said he wasn't shooting straight for 2 months, so I guess he figured that one out.
Glad he started.
Like
That easy. Just fucking do it, dude.
Just fucking learn how to aim. No, I
I don't know. Move your chair closer to your setup. Whatever you got to do to figure it out, bro. If something's wrong.
Change the monitor angle, the height.
Exactly.
Could be anything.
Could be literally anything, but that C9 team, we were thinking maybe roster change territory, but they look pretty solid now for winners bracket, and I think they maybe hold that off probably until the end of the split, unless they have a stinky. But I think this is going to be a grueling. If they lose a close one, it is what it is, just a bad draw via the seed. But we'll pick Minnesota to go through, just because I think they've been more consistent throughout the year. We got one more winners bracket series. This one's interesting. Miami Heretics versus the Los Angeles Gorillas mate. LAG likely playing, it seems, with Priesta in this. It seems like they have now walked back the roster change slightly. Instead of Preston being dropped, it's now Caesar being dropped. So the lineup is going to be Priesta, Lunars, Kismet, and Lynzz. And my question, and we'll start with you, Chelly, is do you think LAG have a chance, and do you think they win an S&D in this series?
Well, I'm kind of annoyed because I was enjoying Priesta's watch parties. Those were pretty entertaining, not gonna lie. And watching him break down their S&D in real time, like where they were breaking down. Do I think that this gives them an edge in S&D? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Caesar's
their best.
Yeah, I was about to say Caesar's supposed to be their search
Caesar
player,
was their best search player.
We're watching him 1v4 in eights, and then he hops
13 in his last search that he played.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know what the idea around the change here was. I honestly don't know. I want to know it. People I know are claiming friendship cheese from D-Real. You guys can weigh in on that, whatever you want to think.
I don't think that's true.
He's friends with both.
I mean,
I'd assume at least.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot. There was the French cheese and there was the friendship cheese.
You want to know Ben J. Reed on the situation? I think based on because people have now linked me clips of what Gotaga said, and I won't be surprised if there's a situation of they ran back the trio, assuming that Lynzz would be their Paco replacement. It clearly hasn't worked. The chemistry is not there, and ownership in the coaches are just trying to throw darts at a board to see what works. This reminds me, Cap, a little bit of, I mean, not one for one, but your guys' situation in Cold War with your Thieves team where they're just trying different shit every week to see if they can figure out how to be good at all three game modes.
If that's what they're doing, it's a sad spot to be because Cold War just felt like we just didn't have good enough players. We couldn't find good enough players. So kept trying it. So if they're in that situation where they just feel like players aren't good enough, that's not great. But I do have to point out Karina's in your chat.
Yeah.
Caesar's girlfriend, and she's laughing at the friendship cheese comment.
What's I'm confused what's funny about. Like I'm saying the entire team, like nobody's gotten dropped from the team. Like is that not
Well, who are you? Why? So here's the why you won't pick up anyone from challengers right now. Let's explain the situation.
Well, I'm just saying friendship cheese in the sense of like, I think picking Preston over Caesar or picking anyone over the other.
That's not what I was referring to as friendship cheese.
What are you referring to?
That they haven't dropped anyone.
Oh,
they're just subbing.
Just keep them on the bench.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, well, think about it this way: the elite is starting right now. That means the challengers teams are roster locked, and realistically, if you're LAG. Right? Like they're going to have a tough time convincing someone to join this project when the major two is a couple weeks away and there are some better teams that might make roster changes. Some of these challengers players maybe don't want to get involved in the situation. So it's just tough for them to, obviously want to try a couple different comps with Lunars.
Wait, do you mean right now? You're saying that's the outlook right now?
I mean, if you're a challengers player right now, Sam, if you're a challengers player right now, you've got the elite ahead of you, and then the tournament, the challengers tournament.
Major 2.
Are you rushing to get an LAG offer if it comes in, or are you waiting 2 weeks?
Well, what other team would be making changes?
No, that's what I'm saying. You're either or taking the LAG situation, or you're waiting to see what happens after the Dallas event.
No, that's what I'm saying. What other team would be making changes hypothetically? Because I don't think there's really anybody
after Major 2,
other than like maybe Boston.
Well, Boston might be one. I'm still not convinced that the C9 is going to keep up this form. And then obviously a bunch of other teams could underperform. What if Carolina underperforms? What if OpTic underperforms and they decide to make a change?
I mean, I get the like betting on yourself thing to wait it out for sure, but I don't think that it's friendship cheese necessarily. They didn't make a roster change. I think they didn't drop him. I think they did that for the reason that Preston is now back on the team, just to give themselves options. I don't think that it was like well, you're our boy. I don't think that has anything to do with it.
I think it keeps them flexible.
Yeah.
Things aren't working. You can try different combos. If a challengers player does get an offer, though, they should take the offer. I will
every time
stand on that hill until the day I die because If you get an offer and you turn it down, you don't know when you're going to get your next offer. If you're really that guy, you get your offer, you go and get in the league, you play well, and then maybe you're on a bad team, but you play well enough, people will recognize it, you'll get on a better team.
How it goes every time.
Every time.
Well, is anyone here picking them against Miami?
No.
We all in the heretics.
LAG is systematically fucked.
We giving them a map in this series, or what are we thinking?
Give them a map.
Depends what game
Give
3
it a
is.
game 5.
You think game
You think
5?
it goes 5?
Yeah.
I think Miami beat the fuck out of them.
Really?
Yeah. I think actually 3-1. I think I think LAG will win in control.
I just don't think Miami's like that dominant to just like beat the fuck out of a team.
I like Miami in respawns, or in hardpoint specifically, which LAG has been complete dirt shit at. Their subs just have no clue what's going on. Lynzz is new to the team, and Preston just is going to try to fill gaps. I think their hardpoint's just like miles ahead right now. I think Real's the best player in this lobby. Their search is just obviously better. The only thing I could say is the control. I think LAG is like a weirdly good control team. So I think they could win that, but the other two modes, I have no faith at all.
Say 3-1. Because
I'll give them the control.
I think LG can take one, but I agree. Miami's.
Cap, you got Miami and 5 cap.
Yeah.
Like that grueler.
It's a griller. All right. So there we go. We got Vancouver, OpTic, Minnesota, and Miami moving on to Saturday. Do you want to start with the top side or the bottom side of this bracket? What do you guys?
Wherever you want.
Let's do the bottom side first. Let's keep it going. We're going to start with Thieves versus the Minnesota Rocker. Obviously, Thieves have been in cruise control to split. Minnesota as well playing good. Sam, obviously, you're a Thieves fanboy. You think Rocker, all bias aside, because you're going to say Thieves 3-0, but that aside, you think Rocker got a chance to make this one interesting with Thieves? You think Thieves are just too deep map pool wise and too many options?
I think the Rocker's only angle is a Neslo, but it's the same as it was last week with LAT. I don't think that Rocker is good enough to beat them in a respawn right now. I think LAT is second best control team, and I think that they're probably the best hardpoint team. So Rocker's been good, but I don't know if they have the firepower unless LAT just come out flat, which they definitely could. Especially if LAT plays S&D how they did last week. Paco looked fucking crazy on that red card. So it depends, man. If LAT come out firing and search again, I could see a pretty clean like 3-0, 3-1. But if they're kind of lackadaisical in the mode again, it gets a little weird, then this could go 5. But I have obviously, LAT winning either way. But yeah, I mean, it could be a grueler series if they're not on point and search how they were last week.
What do you guys think, Chelly? What do you think?
I'm interested to see the map set, honestly. It shouldn't matter too much, but if LA Thieves let a couple Rocker are really good on Vault, and they've played Skyline in their last 5 series. So, like, you got to think they're feeling comfortable on Skyline, or they were trying to get more comfortable on that map. And we've seen Thieves troll Skyline quite a few times. So it'll be interesting to see. I think one of these hard points is going to be a lot closer than they probably should be. I think Thieves are going to win. I think they're probably going to do it in 4. I think they don't stand. I mean, dude, Thieves control, like when you're a really, really good control team, FaZe, Thieves, I mean, you make these series 1,000 times harder for anyone to beat you that's not as good as you. So, I mean, that's pretty, that kind of goes without saying, but I think, give me Thieves 4-1 or 3-1, sorry.
Yeah, they're going to beat the fuck out of them.
I'm down to give Rocker a map. You guys keen on that? I think Rocker would take it.
I really don't think it'll be a 3-0, but I think like a good 3-1. It'll be a good series though. I actually am a little worried for this one as a Thieves fan.
I agree with Chelly. The map pool in this one could be interesting. I mean, Thieves. I mean, that Toronto map 1. I mean, they always had the potential to throw a map. The Toronto map 1 was not clean. Toronto just chose to try not to win that one. But I mean, I could see an angle where Minnesota get off to a hot start in this series. Thieves battle back. We get an interesting one. it's hard for me to pick Minnesota.
I mean, it's going to be like a red card, Skyline HP, Vault S&D is getting vetoed by Rocker or by LAT. Control, I actually don't know where it's going to go.
It's a Thieves win anyway.
It's a Thieves win anyway, but I don't know. I really don't know what Rocker are thinking on the outlook on that one. But as long as LAT veto Vault search, the rest of the series I'm cool with.
I will say new feature on Prize Picks. You know, we were gambling degens out here. They have map 2 First Bloods, and I think this will be a potentially good one to look on Saturday for a First Blood play. So these are just the ones they have listed for Friday matches chat, but obviously we'll work through those on Coffee and COD.
You're thinking Paco First Bloods?
Paco, listen, he's been playing much better in S&D. That map he played against Toronto, he was moving and grooving. He was active. I feel like his search game's starting to come to him. So, if Minnesota don't really meet the moment, it could be a nice banquet for Paco on the map to get some First Bloods. But we shall see. All right, so we'll do 3-1. Let's talk Carolina and Miami Heretics. You want to start off and take a look at the Crumble lineup, and then we'll give our thoughts on the series?
Yes.
All right, let's see a little bit of Crumble check.
Very important factor here.
So these are
Kit Kats, man.
These are Crumble flavors for this weekend, chat. We got butter cake.
My God, he has them.
You have the lineup?
And
Oh my God, Chelly cooked.
Your background blur is fucking
He's
this
got
up.
a dog shit blur on, but he cooked.
No way.
Let me turn the blur off.
No way.
Hold on, Chelly has the box, dude.
you have this lineup right here.
This
my God,
is
he
an
cooked.
insane play out of you to actually
Let's go, Chelly.
pre-book the
Came
lineup.
prepared.
Let's see it.
Oh my God.
That's a
What is
good.
in the middle? What is that in the middle, bro?
Which one? The middle?
The bottom one. The bottom middle.
butter
What is
cake.
that, Chelly?
That's butter cake, Sam.
Bro, I know the one above that is red velvet, and that looks crazy.
French. Oh, you didn't have the French silk pie. It
Top
was
row looks nuts, man.
milk
They all look
chocolate.
kinda nuts.
That looks incredible. Looks
Biscoff
great.
lava cookie. This sounds insane. Gooey mouthwatering cookie and drizzle with melty ew.
One of the best lineups I've ever seen.
Banana caramel's
You
kind
gotta,
of.
you gotta teach masterclass then.
I think looking at this
Ooh,
lineup,
red
bro.
velvet. Ooh.
I know, Cab. It looks so fucking
The
good.
undercurrent in this matchup is that these teams obviously played pretty recently at the major, and I believe Miami got the best of them
Miami did win.
in a map 4 fashion in that one. And they're going to play again, not next week, but the week after, going into the tournament.
That was
so
what, first match on Sunday, right? They played. I think that was like Carolina just kind of didn't show up to that.
Losers semis, winners finals.
It was first series.
So I think there's a little bit of a revenge arc here for Carolina. You guys feeling that?
Yeah, I'm super high on Carolina right now.
What do you guys
I
think?
have been for the whole season, but
What do you think is the diff in this matchup? Why do you think Carolina's going to clutch out?
I think they're hard points on point right now, which is like really the only concern that I've had with the team. They've been like a sneaky control team. I was looking at their stats the other night. They're like a sneaky good control team that no one really brings up. But their search is obviously, Carolina search would do what you do there, but their hard point's just been good lately. And I think that when they're on the up and hard point, teams should be on the worry. And I think that Miami right now, I would just have more faith in Carolina to close like a close search dependent series over Miami.
You guys agree?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Carolina's got to be happy with where they are on the bracket for sure. I think anybody else can be a little bit concerned about who comes out of that matchup to play them in winners. But Carolina, I feel like hopefully they don't, I don't think they will, but hopefully they don't say, hey guys, we're automatically playing winner of Thieves and whoever they play. So lock in,
I mean, yeah, they lost them at the event, so I think it's not equal revenge, but it's the best you can do for now, and I think they're gonna get it.
Yeah, it just with Miami, I think their game. I was like a Miami hater, as you guys know. The game's starting to round into more form. Obviously, them getting super over gives them a little bit of protection. They want to make a roster change. But I just think I think Carolina's going to come for momentum here. And Carolina did make it to the finals of the last major tournament or minor tournament. So what are you guys thinking? You think it's a 3-1 angle? Or
Yeah.
Game 5.
I think like a 3-1.
I'm going 3-0. But I do want to hear, Benjay, I kind of remember you being out on this Ravens team. So do you want to address that? That was literally like before last episode. I'm pretty sure you said you were out on Ravens because they dropped their first 2 of the qualifier for Major 2. Are you all the way back in on them, Ben? Or like what's going on here?
I think my read on Carolina is that they seem to be pretty week to week because some weeks they pull up and their respawn's on point, and they've been pretty consistently good at search the entire way here. And so they're able to beat and get upsets and, for example, make it to the finals of the minor one tournament. But they can also pull up like they did in week one of these qualifiers and just have an absolute stinker in the respawns and look completely lost in hardpoint. So I just think with them, they have the ability to be in that top 4 conversation, but it's just going to come down to how good their hardpoint is on a given day. If it's on point, yeah. If not, then just they're not good enough to really consistently Neslo their way through an entire bracket. So that's how I feel about it. I'm not like 100% out, but you know.
Sure, man. You're not where I am.
Gersh is calling you, Sam, the white the whom.
The white to whom?
The white
Dude,
to whom.
I can't believe my fantasy L to Gersh. Do you want to hear how I lost to Gersh in fantasy last week?
Sure.
He played the Minnesota, or he has Nero and Estriel. They played the Falcons last series, and they both dropped like 1.8s, and he slaughtered me.
Playing matchups.
It was not tippable for sure.
You're the one who's talking about playing matchups.
I know, man. I got cooked. Pissed me off. I'm still angry about it.
Tough scene, Sam.
I was
Tough
up
scenes.
9-3, and he beat me 9-3. I'm pretty sure some shit.
You got to be 8-3.
Yeah, fuck him.
Well, hopefully this week you can clutch up. I actually picked up a 4th player on my team, so hopefully Metals and Miami can do it for me. But let's move on. So I'm gonna lock in the 3-1 for Carolina, and so the bottom side will have Thieves in Carolina. We'll get to them in a second. Let's finish out our day 2 predictions. Let's start with Toronto and OpTic. I'm trying to remember. Have these guys played each other this year?
I don't think so.
Let's see. Have they played each other this year?
I don't think they've played. No, they did. They Optic slammed the fuck out of them on the online qualifier.
Yeah, right before the major
last series. Yeah, they slammed them. I forgot about that.
But I mean, this is a minute ago.
Yeah, they slammed them online.
I think here's my question to you guys. OpTic obviously 0-12. They won't be 0-4 if they get to this point in the bracket. Toronto, we have seen really start to peter off the last couple of weeks. Their respawn doesn't look as dominant. They're starting to lose searches. Are you guys concerned that they're going to continue to struggle to meet the moment against top teams in a series like this, even with OpTic being where they are right now?
I think this is best case scenario for Toronto. Like they have the stigma of not being able to beat the best teams, but OpTic's also sliding like no one else right now. So I have Toronto winning the series. I'm not going to pick OpTic to win again until I see them show me something. But I think if you're
Vegas win will move you.
Fuck no. I think if you're Toronto, I think this is best case scenario, honestly. Like you have to get over that beating the best team kind of thing, and this is a vulnerable OpTic, so you go out there and slam them and keep it pushing.
Yeah, what do you think, Cap?
Yeah, I also have Toronto. I think OpTic, I don't know. I think I hope they'll be better and it'll be competitive, like 3-1, 3-2, but I just truly think they're in a bad spot and it's going to take more time to fix whatever's going on. I know what's going on, but whatever's going on is going to take more time if they even do fix it. Yeah, until they look like a top team, I just don't think we can rank them as one right now. I think Ultra's is better.
And Ultra's sliding, that's bad.
With Toronto, and I have to zoom out so you can see it. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna highlight the row because it's cut off on the left. But this is Toronto's row right here if you're watching. And we've talked about this stat, but it has literally not moved in weeks. They are still the worst team rotation percentage in the CDL. They are one of the best break and hold teams. But again, we've watched them struggle to open hills and rotate well. And it burned them against Toronto, or it burned them against Thieves last weekend. And it's continued to burn them in series. So if there's any opportunity for OpTic, you have to a hot start in a map like Toronto. You take that map 1. Suddenly those guys have belief, momentum. They get excited. They get energy. And Toronto, unfortunately, we've seen Walt a lot so far recently. So I can see that the path for OpTic, but bro, I agree with Sam. Does anyone have an OpTic upset in this, or are we all on Toronto?
Yeah, I can't take off, bro. I can't do it.
You
know why I can't do it? It's because they're playing Falcons, and it's such a curse and a blessing at the same time because you're gonna get your map wins, but you're playing the Falcons. So does it really do anything for your confidence and anything for the team? I'm going to argue no.
It's a lose-lose.
It's a lose-lose, and it sucks because I wish OpTic had a little bit tougher of an opponent. Like an LAG, Miami would have been perfect for them.
Yeah.
They get a win there, then they're going to play Toronto with a little bit of momentum, but it sucks. I feel like they come in after beating Falcons and just like, okay, like we knew this was going to happen, so let's.
This is actually a good take, Chelly. I like
let's
this.
try not to suck.
This is a good take.
I mean, actually,
Nothing.
The first time ever.
I don't know.
that's
You said
actually good.
Toronto or fucking Rocker was going to win.
I don't think that, Chad. Just joking.
Stand
We
on
go
it.
back to that
Nah,
hard
that's a good
graphic
take,
though.
Yeah. Which one? What do you want?
Falcons have a 13% break percentage.
Correct.
Holy shit,
Man, how
man!
many Falcons hard points have you watched?
Not many. I don't watch most of their
I envy
matches.
you.
I do not.
I envy you.
13% is crazy.
13%.
Oh, 49 is crazy.
Hold on. Can I address something in chat?
49 what?
Toronto, they're 49%. That's even worse. Or 50 for 39%, excuse me. That's even fucking worse, bro.
Ben,
I'm
Jerry,
talking about the break percentage.
We're talking about
There's
level
some
13. 1 out of 8 hills they break.
It's
God,
horrible, bro.
damn.
That's what and people think OpTic is going to lose to that team.
It's crazy.
Well, what were you about to say, Chelly? Before I go cook?
Are you getting rage baited by chat?
Well, I don't know. Hope's usually on point, but I fear he might not know his ball with that take. I mean, as we've talked about time and time again with Falcons, like, I just don't. If the directive and the identity and the thought process on that team is to continue to try and figure out if these guys have it or don't have it, there's not much.
Don't have it, bro.
There's not much a coaching staff can do if that's a directive. So as we mentioned time and time again on the show, what they should try to do is have a conversation over there amongst the leadership of like, clearly these guys aren't going to work out. Well, how do we want to spend the next 5 months, right? Because we assume EWC will be at some point in July or beginning of August. So you basically got another 5 months in the season, give or take. You keep running these Saudi full lineups, like we're just wasting half a year.
Well,
You can't pin it on Clay, bro. Coaching COD, and I'm biased because I did it for years, but coaching COD is impossible to judge. Like, compared to sports where coaches, they're talking to their players throughout the game. They're like NFL, you're calling plays, you're doing this and that. What in COD coaching, like, but once a map starts, you don't get to talk to your players. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Then you get judged based on what other people are doing in the heat of the moment. And it's just, I mean, there's long-term trends, but like you can pick up, like, does a coach maybe make a team better? But like in Clay's situation, where he doesn't have the players, like, it's fucking impossible.
Yeah, the Clay criticism is weird to me. I just they have a very bad hand that they're dealing with, and it was always a lot of uncertainty about whether or not these guys can and can't do it. Clearly, it's been mostly in the can't situation. So, yeah, I don't know how much. I talked to Clay a lot at Major One, and he had a pretty level-headed take on his team, and like I'll give Clay credit. Had also a plan for things they wanted to do differently during the second major split to try and improve the situation. But if those guys can't improve quick enough and can't make decisions at the level and close out maps, like, I don't know what you want the coaching staff to do. They don't want the fucking controller in their hand. So. I
mean, you got to think Asim gets a shot at some point, right? To this roster? No, Sam? Why not?
I mean, I think that they should not have a single player that's currently signed to their organization in any fucking way on their starting roster.
I mean, Asim makes the team better.
I mean, yeah, of course he does, but like
he's a starting point.
That does nothing for Asim. He's just gonna go join the team, and he's gonna get shit on, and it's just gonna not help him in any way possible because
if they just
fucking blows.
If they just add him into the lineup, and yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There's no positive that he would get out of that at all.
Bro, Asim's gonna try and take routes in this team, and just gonna be no standard play behind him, and he's just gonna be in absolute shit show. You know how Asim plays, bro. Like he's gonna try and make big plays on the pinch and routes, and those guys don't play standard, and like they're not gonna make it easy on him, and yeah, it's not gonna end well.
Clay could spawn in right now and be a better player than their whole team.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hope. I'm just gonna ignore you. You're normally on point, but I fear Hope. It might be time for me to break out the yellow card so we can move on. In the chat.
I don't know. Well, you gotta think EWC kicks will be playing in that.
I think that ship has sailed, brother.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kicks?
I don't know what's going
I
on with
think
the
that
kick
ship has
situation.
sailed.
You think? Really? I've not heard anything about that.
I mean, I haven't either, but you got to think it. I mean, he should. If it's not as bad as it is, I feel like he should have been back by now. Either one, he just doesn't want to play, or he wants to be home, or just some obviously like family thing. I don't know, but I feel like if he wanted to play, he would have been back by now. It's been a little while.
What are you guys
Like
thinking?
he's not playing any capacity. He's not even on the challengers team or nothing.
Yeah, correct. So I don't know what's up with that. Are we taking Toronto? What are we thinking? 3-0, 3-1?
Like a 3-1.
3-1.
Maybe they win a map.
I could see OpTic taking one, but I think map 1 in that series is so important for OpTic. They need belief that they can do it.
I think
Otherwise,
what Chelly said is perfect, bro. They're playing Falcons. You win that series, your mindset is no different at all compared to what it was prior to it.
well, we'll see if OpTic can make the turnaround or they crash out top 8 and we talk about whether or not they're chalked anymore. Fun one. This is the second match on Saturday, the 4:30 match. FaZe versus Vancouver. We saw this a few weeks ago. Vancouver's surprise package took that first match of the split versus FaZe, and they've continued to be on the run. Since then, FaZe have also been in cruise control, so both teams looking good value at the moment. What are your guys' read on this? I'm going to start with you, Chelly. Do you think the FaZe guys are going to tee up for this one to get the rematch, or you think Vancouver's going to continue to be surprise package and it's going to be another generational series from Neptune?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think a team like FaZe watches that VOD over and over again, thinking about how could we have let Nep run like a chicken without his head cut off on protocol, dropping 40 piece in us. Like, it's not going to happen again. The honeymoon phase is over. And a team like FaZe, I mean, they make the adjustments they need to make, especially in a minor tournament that's single elim. I think Vancouver might come out even just a tad nervous. You don't want to play FaZe in a single elim tournament. There's no room for error. So I think FaZe will capitalize on any mistakes that they make and get this done. I think it's a 3-0, actually. I think they get their lick back and 3-0 them back.
You guys agree with the 3-0, or you think this one's a little bit tighter?
I agree with the 3-0.
I was going to say 3-1, but we can go 3-0. Definitely think they get their lick back.
I was thinking 3-2. I was thinking...
You think it's going to be a grueler?
I think this one... the way Vancouver look and flow, I think this one's a grueler, but there's also the world...
You shut down Nep, you win the game. Like, he's been the X factor by far, and he opens up the map for everybody else to play better. And if you shut him down, then the entire Vancouver Surge team is going to just be so out of sync.
I think FaZe just kind of beats the shit out of him. I think they took him lightly. First time they played him, new roster. Nasty dropped a 1.4. Like, it was just like the stars aligned for them to win that series. So I think FaZe is going to be a lot more serious going to this one. It's obviously a minor, so it's a heightened, not just a league match kind of thing. And I think they take care of business through.
Do you want to do 3-1 then? You want to do 3-0?
No. 3-0.
3-0? Okay. I'm down for that.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, these are the kind of series that Vancouver have lost time and time again in the last year and a half. So they played well to points like this, and then they crumble against good teams. So I won't be surprised if this also ends up being a classic Vancouver 1-3 loss where they win first map and lose the next 3. We've seen that a bunch. Let's move on. We've got semifinals now. We did not pick any major upsets so far, so oh well. FaZe, Toronto, Thieves, and Carolina. Which one you guys want to start with? Do you want to start with the Abizi Joe DeCea's bowl at the top? You guys keen with that?
Jesus Christ.
Easy Joe DeCea's bowl.
I think this is also belt to ass 3-0.
This is Dragons Team Speak Bowl? What are we fucking calling this? Like, I don't know. You think it's a
Sure.
3-0?
I think it's also 3-0.
I mean, Toronto also beat them. This is a FaZe revenge fucking tour. It's like they lost to Vancouver, lost to Toronto this year.
That's fun.
You think FaZe win this just as a skill diff, or you think there's the issues we discussed with Toronto where they just like...
I think Toronto is going to beat OpTic and feel relatively good, but OpTic's also horrible. So I think FaZe is just going to expose the issues that Toronto actually have systematically in hardpoint. I think they're the better search team. Toronto's been sliding, and FaZe is the best control team in the game. So as long as Toronto doesn't get vault, which I'm inclined to think that FaZe will not give them, I think this is a 3-0.
You guys think it's a 3-0?
I don't know. I said last week that I don't think the final is going to be FaZe Thieves. I think that's too cookie cutter, too obvious. I think single limb turning like this, like someone's going to slip up, and it's hard to predict where. I don't know which one. I just think one of them's going to slip up. I couldn't tell you which one.
I agree.
If we're going to pick phase 3-0, then that means I think Carolina's going to be Thieves.
I agree. I agree.
Like one or the other. I think one or the other is going to happen. Like
He's been talking shit all over the place on Thieves, man.
he has been talking.
He's been talking shit.
I agree.
He just.
Cap.
Oh, bad. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say I agree. Online tournament, single elim. Like, if it was LAN, like, yeah, we'd probably sit here and say, yeah, Thieves phase final, grand final.
Double limb too. You know, like you can slip up once and be like, you go back to the hotel room, yo, guys, watch VOD, guys, lock it the fuck in.
The
Online single limb, bro. You one bad map, you know,
yeah.
spirals in another. Like this goes so quick.
The factor in this in the Thieves Carolina matchup is one, at some point out in chat, you get the best version of going online until we see them at LAN. Have a generational, that's is what it is. And it's the type of matchup that I think Carolina and FaZe that will cause problems for Thieves because it's two teams that are just going to execute search at an elite level and adjustment map at an elite level. And that's the weakest game mode for Thieves on paper. So, like, that's the upset path. I don't think Carolina's taking 3 respawns on Thieves. But you guys, if we're picking an upset here, we're probably picking a game 5er, right?
I think the Ravens one is definitely more likely than the FaZe one for sure.
100%.
I mean, it's this. If you're going to talk about an LAT, like if LAT playing a good mid-pack team, it's always going to be the same road to success, just winning searches. And what you said, Ben, I think is really eloquently put. Like Ravens are the best mid-round team. We've seen it time and time again. Their mid-round adjustments, is like it's just the latest example was the red card last week. I think that's LAT's weakness, and I think if there's going to be an upset, I think it's probably going to be this one. But there will not be.
That's crazy. I really sat here, like, twiddling my thumbs, thinking I was about to drop a bomb by saying that Ravens were going to upset Thieves, and J-Cap stole my thunder. It's actually so messed up. It's actually so messed up.
Well, okay, you know what? You can have that one, then I think Ultra upsets FaZe. I just think one of them's going to
Don't do that.
That's so cheese.
Dude, you can't cheese it now.
Is that
I
based,
did-
is that based
I'm
on
telling
you,
or
though.
is it just it has to happen?
I'm telling you though, I don't know which one I fully believe in.
It has to happen.
These kind of tournaments, bro, FaZe Thieves final, that's what everyone expects. Every bracket being submitted right now on this site has FaZe Thieves in the final, except the OpTic fans. They point OpTic. But every other bracket is FaZe Thieves, and like it's just,
But
you
if
know,
it's just like Vancouver, like Ravens in finals,
it'd be electric.
that'd be fucking lit.
It'd be huge points for both. I mean, Carolina, they make it to our finals of the minor. They're good event placing, and Carolina's had a difficult time qualifying for champs. But you would think with 2 good splits, they'd basically pretty much locked in at that
That'd be low.
point.
And the fact that 2 teams are currently helping them out at the moment by just guaranteeing they won't make it.
Yeah, I could
we
show you guys the
forgotten?
standings real quick.
Have we forgotten Dylan Envoy called out Gwyn for not playing for the win?
True, I forgot about that.
My God, we're
Ooh.
adding fuel to the fire.
It
I didn't
is.
bring it up, but he's on the Gwinternet, so you gotta think he's locked in.
The Gwitch is
LAT
crazy.
did beat the fuck out of him in the qualifier online. Oh man.
Gotta think.
Sam, bro, don't do it.
Oh,
Are we picking the
man.
upset,
I'm not
bro?
doing it. LAT are slamming their shit.
Are we picking the upset?
If you guys want to, go for it.
I don't see the upset. So are we?
All right, Benja, it's your
Big
back.
Thieves, bro. Let's have the nice, clean FaZe Thieves.
I'm
final.
picking Thieves.
With the Thieves beating
game
FaZe in a
5.
best of 7 grand final.
Duke UNC grand final. There it is.
Well,
March
so we've
Madness.
seen these guys play 2 series so far this year, FaZe and Thieves. First one was a reverse sweep in which Thieves just, yeah, we won't talk about that game 5. And then the second series was an absolute classic. Probably one of the best finals that we've ever seen in the CDL. It's got to be up there. It goes to a game 7 in round 11. And once again, Thieves with some questionable round 11 decisions, and they give FaZe a victory in that one. We think this is
They
another.
played at winners finals too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The first series reverse sweep, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What are we thinking? There's another
LAT.
game 7. Fucking, I don't know. Pick one. I mean, how convinced we are? Do we think right now, if FaZe and Thieves load into a game 7 of any search and destroy map choice, do we feeling Thieves in that one, or are we feeling FaZe?
I think FaZe 4-2.
Yeah, you think so?
Fuck you.
Why are you offended?
Fuck you. I have these winning it. They're gonna get their lick back, bro. This isn't land anymore.
This online shit. They run this online
This
shit.
is this online shit, Cap. They run this shit. You can have your best of 7 round 11 for a chip. You think I care? I'll win the minor.
I think after the event, everyone's gonna assume, oh, FaZe Thieves Game 7. I don't know. It's hard to do that again.
It's hard
It's
because
hard for everything to align and just have that banger in the finals.
I don't think FaZe are going to lose every hard point against Thieves, but I also don't think Thieves are going to lose every search against FaZe.
I also don't think Thieves are going to lose every control they played because they lost 2 Hossie 3-2s, right?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like this one comes down to, so the dynamic in this is they'll both have played. FaZe will be hot because Thieves will have been sitting around for a series. Not that I think matters long term in the series because it's online, whatever. Right now, I'd probably just pick FaZe based on, again, the search and just being able to clutch up in that. We've talked about this a lot, right, in the best of 7s. Where it comes down to is like the business end in maps 4 and 5, where you get towards the end of the map pool and like, can a team win that like 3rd best S&D map they have in their pool type shit?
Yo, Ben.
What?
You picked LAT on the flank.
When? I did pick LAT to win on the flank.
Bro,
So now you're picking FaZe?
I don't know. Should I pick FaZe? What should we do?
With the receipts,
I don't know. What should I do, Sam? I don't know. What should I do, Sam? What should I do?
What do you mean, what should I do? Make your own stand on your fucking opinion.
What should I do?
Thank God we're calling him out, Sam, because where the fuck this guy would be? This guy would be 500.
I just got clips picking both sides of every series.
That's not true. I know. You guys are assuming things. It's fake news, bro. AI bullshit cheese.
Yeah.
No, you know Ben's 50-50
AI clip cheese, bro.
Pick one, Ben. Who is it right now?
I'm going to say, if I would pick one right now, I'm going to say LAT.
That's what I thought, bitch.
Yeah. So I have LAT, Sam's LAT, Cap and Chelly, what do you guys have?
No, okay, I was about to say, I'm taking LAT. I'm taking LAT.
So we're going LAT 4-2 is what we're thinking.
If they make it to here, yes.
Yeah.
I do have them losing to Ravens, but if they make it to the final, I'll take LAT.
Fuck yeah. He's just gonna have a.
It's not my bracket.
No, but I want your thoughts though. I want your thoughts.
I said FaZe 4-2.
Okay.
There's so much bad juju in this series, though. But LAT did just win a bad juju series against Toronto, so maybe they have the counter.
I will take the field, though, that this will not be the final.
No, I agree.
Take the field.
I would do the same. If I could make a bet on that, I absolutely would.
So
I'm sure you can.
Do you think that either FaZe or LAT lose in the semis?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Potentially, I mean, obviously, potentially before, but mainly in the semis. I think one of them loses.
Well,
I think it just has to be LAT, bro. I just don't see a world in which Toronto beats FaZe. I think they're just 2 completely different teams. It's got to be the LAT one, but it won't be. It'll be a boring one.
Yeah, because I think Carolina, like I don't see what maps. I mean, now they run back.
What's your LAT Carolina map count? Because we got 3-2 on the bracket.
I think it's I think it's like a grueling game 5.
Oh, okay.
I'm coping that LAT's search has been better because it's gotten better over the course of the year so far. Like Paco had like a breakout S&D map last weekend, which was really cool to see. The only thing
S&D map?
he dropped like 13 last week.
Yeah.
He had like 3 first bloods. The only thing that worries me is what Ben said is the mid-round stuff. I think Ravens mid-round search is like probably the best in the league with FaZe right now.
Of course, Austin Litico play for picks.
Yeah, like I don't think that LAT has that in their bag. So that's the only concern I have with it, which is like could be the upset angle. But I picked like a 3-2, 3-1, like super close though.
We were talking about the first bloods of LAT. We've been bringing that up all season. They are still bottom 5 in that stat, but they have moved north. They're getting closer to 50%, very slowly there. So another good series or 2.
They're working on it.
They'll pass Vancouver. The only thing for Thieves that hasn't improved, and they're also bottom 5, and is still that first blood win percentage, right? Winning those 4v3s is still a big issue. Now, some of that's because they play a lot of Skyline, and I think winning Skyline, I think, is a torture to that percentage, to be honest.
I feel like it shouldn't. I mean, this is just like a nitpick of a stat, but I feel like if it's the kill is traded within like 1 second or 2 seconds of the blood happening, I feel like it shouldn't negatively impact the stat. Like, it's such a nitpick, but like,
yeah,
if you're playing like High Rise last year or Skyline this year, and if you die going into A bomb and you get immediately traded, like that just looks like it hurts you, but I don't know.
Let me show you what I mean.
Still
So-
affects the trades though. Get the first kill.
Yeah.
Trade sequence, like
Yeah.
the context of this is actually really important. This is very interesting now that we're almost in. So
Oh my god.
ignore fucking rewind. You notice protocol, Hacienda. You get a first blood, those teams are closing out at 3-4. But Skyline and Vault on offense, if you get a blood, doesn't necessarily get win the round 6 out of 10. I mean, that's pretty good percentages. Vault's the same on the defensive side, which makes sense as well. Not so much on Skyline when you get a blood, which kind of, I'm not surprised because how a lot of ratings play out when you get a first blood on defense. It's usually a retake and you're playing trades, or you get an opening pick and they don't know where to go. But this context on the first blood win percentage stat is really important because teams that play these two maps a lot are going to theoretically have lower first blood win percentages because it just seems like that's just how it's going to play out. So
Yeah, just trades in Vault and A-Bomb on Skyline.
interesting that Vault's offense isn't above 50%.
it's pretty close though. 49.2 is.
Yeah, but it's just so easy to plant the bomb.
Let me,
Get
s-
control.
You don't want to know how bad people are at planting the bomb.
let me see right now. Vault offensive. What's the round?
Oh, really,
differential on
Chance?
it?
Chance in my chat said that Easy Mac might account for that. He said it might be a 3 to 5 second buffer.
Okay.
That's interesting if that's the case.
So the round differential in
W.
Vault right now is 4 rounds. 124, 128. So
You want to know what's absurd about that map? I genuinely think that there is a skill gap that is so big on the most straightforward S&D map of all time.
what do you think?
Bro, look at how C9 plays it. Look at how FaZe plays it. Look at how Minnesota play that map. It's so night and day to people that are just like herder plant. Like there's so many tiny things about playing that map on offense that I swear to God, people just black out. They just don't understand like how to set up for a post plan for pool. Still, we're in fucking February. Like the defense blind countering A when we saw it on C9 from this last weekend. Like there's so many things about that map that people just ignore. And I think that the really good Vault teams, that's why the round differential is so high, I think.
You
Like,
wanna know
that's just
I agree.
insane.
Yeah, I think there's a big nade skill gap on that map.
Yeah, FaZe's first blood nades for pool, like the hop out of cat specifically, are fucking that shit's peak.
I've never seen do they bank? Do they throw the nade and it banks off the side of plat and then kicks downwards?
No, they just they did a 3P of it. They just walked like the hookah window on the backside of the stairs. They just stand in front of that and look straight up and throw them
Over the building or against the
Yeah.
painting?
They did both because they did it. They banked it through cat stairs into cat and killed them, and then they also did one where they just threw it straight over the building.
Yeah,
Two separate ones.
I think it's also another thing that teams probably fuck up sometimes in search is counting how many trophies our team uses on the map every round.
Yeah.
So you know if they have trophies. There's probably a little bit of gap on teams that are paying attention. And some of that might just be luck.
The bomb, bro.
Yeah, some of that might be luck because they're dropping a trophy in a lane and you know it's over that side of the map and you just don't know. But yeah, I agree with you. Even though Vault S&D is pretty sure at a map, I think there is starting to be teams that are definitely good at it. As opposed to teams that are not.
And the bomb glitch still a thing, by the way.
The
That
fucking
is true.
S and Dylan fucking playing in the water.
The cheese has not been patched, and we're in February.
I don't know how they haven't fixed that. What a Treyarch
They're
doing, bro.
putting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the game.
What are speaking of that, Chelly, as always, we'll get to community questions in a second. Want to get your thoughts. Blinds are already up for Fridays on the books. There are any plays you're thinking about? I know you're a big map one. You wait to see what you got, but any just straight up lines right now like.
So what I've been doing pre-maps, because obviously map sets kind of everything for these. Pre-maps, I've been looking at teams that there's a control diff, right? Because when the control map doesn't matter as much if a team's getting 3-0'd on it. And there's obviously always Falcons who play control. They have to, and they're horrible at it. They're getting, what's it called? What's it called when you get taken from behind?
Hostage.
Yeah, you got Wixel held hostage in side door at Hacienda. It's just.
What's it called when you get taken from behind?
Chat's going crazy. I should have been unlocked. But yeah, dude, last week I gave Wixel less than 20.5 on the map 3. I think we go right back to it against OpTic.
How low do you think that his line can get?
You want to find out?
Dude, that shit's gonna be like 17.5.
Yeah, it can get low. I mean, yeah, dude, this team on control has been feeding feeding. Like, I'm surprised they keep putting them up.
Well, there's that, and I feel like I never get betting advice, but I feel like there's like just good search players, and the line is just always 7 for some reason. Other than Crimp, which is like I think his is really high. His is like 9 or something insane. But
Yeah, it's
I feel like
always
search
tough.
players are just like always a lock.
Yeah, I don't know. I took Kremp last week. He dropped 3 on a Skyline. Mac dropped
No.
9. Yeah, Mac dropped 9. So, like,
It happens.
I mean, search can't. It seems like it would be really consistent.
It's a Tommy Zuma angle.
Yeah, we just let Tom use his
Tom do the
fucking
Mac
nose,
twos.
let him sniff him out.
That's not right. I mean, it's just like you can't. Yeah, the search lines. I mean, they know the math is people are taking mores over lesses, so they're just trying to play the 60-40 there. But
Yep.
well, we'll talk more about picks on Coffee and Cotton, obviously on the stream. So make sure you guys tune in to watch parties over the course of the weekend. We got some good community questions. We're going to close out the show with those. I got like 4 or 5 of them, and there's some good ones. Shout out to people that submitted. We're going to take a look at the first one right here. Hopefully it pops up correctly. From Spud CDL, should Gentlemates move Lynzz to an AR and bring in Huke to partner with Kismet? We're probably all going to say no, but does anyone want to take a lead on explaining why that is a bad idea?
I'll let you do it, Ben. Why do you think it's a bad idea?
Well, I think it's a bad idea because I feel like you put Lynzz in a position where he's got to play more straight up instead of having a free license. He's suddenly going to be causing more problems than he is already now on the map by his lack of positional awareness. But what do you think, Sam?
Correct.
Also,
I think
that's-
that guy is not very intelligent.
Man, my bad, Adam.
Which guy?
was
Wait,
joking.
My
which
bad,
guy?
my bad, Spud
Lynzz.
CDL.
yeah,
We're
not
not talking about Spud.
Oh, you're talking about
Lynzz.
you're talking about Lynzz. Yeah, I
Yes.
thought you were cooking Spud.
No.
Also, if you, I'm assuming that situation, you'd keep Lunars on the team and get rid of both Skies and Priesthood. I think that's what he would mean. And then the Lunars, Lynzz, Huke lineup,
His is fighting for his
Is-
life.
that's going to be some chaos on the map. Kiz is going to be losing his shit with that
full
lineup.
Seattle, that's full Seattle surge.
Yeah, that's brain dead.
Yeah.
Straight up
Hey,
brain dead.
Seattle
I
Surge
just-
won some games, Sam. More
That's
than
true. No, you're absolutely. Yeah, they don't have Vista this year though. Yeah, I just don't think Lynzz is like. I mean, I don't want to sit here and shit talk the kid, but I don't think he's super bright. Like, just the shit that I see his arrow do is like actually insane sometimes. So I think putting an AR in his hands can fuck up things a little bit more than he already is.
I agree on that. Anyone else final thoughts before we move on?
No, I agree.
All right, we got this question a lot. Squanto got in first. If OpTic lose to Falcons on Friday, should they consider making more than a one-man change? / like, if they lose to Falcons, should they make a change?
Oh,
If they lose to Falcons, they're making a roster change.
yeah.
I said this on stream yesterday.
What do they do? They just drop Kenny?
I don't know, but they're doing something. They drop Karma. I don't fucking know.
Drop Damon. Damn, okay.
Maybe
It's all Damon's fault.
Maybe Hex. I don't know, bro. The whole work. If they lose to Falcons, they're making a roster change.
RIP's in, I guess.
Yeah, let's
Maybe Kenny and Pred both gone? Who knows?
I don't know, bro. But if they lose to Falcons for their first series win and first hardpoint win, yeah,
Pred's been their best player, bro. Like, so far.
statistically,
Yeah, I mean, statistically, sorry. Maybe not. Maybe he could be pulling a Lynzz on the
I
map.
watched him pinch P2 protocol and blackout. So I don't know
Yeah.
if he's the best player situationally, but statistically, yeah,
I watched a lot of good reactions to that clip.
yeah,
Enable, Crim 6 was good.
yeah.
Good content.
AG has been making the greatest plays, but that's fine.
They've
I'll
all
figure it out.
not been making good plays.
They've all
either.
not, yeah,
So
exactly.
you can make fair criticisms about virtually everybody on the team and the way they're playing, especially in respawn. Don't get me started on S&D. So,
Exactly.
all right, let's move on. We got 2 more questions from David Burdett. Seems like rookie this year won't be a packed award. Have any of the few stand out, and who would claim it based on plays so far?
Rancor.
It
Right?
has to be, right? Like
Well-
Lunars has 2 series, Rancor, then the Falcons players, and
Neptune's
then
got
Nep.
2. Yeah.
I think it'll be Net by the end of the year, but I think as of right now,
That's
it's
a
Rancor.
rookie?
No.
Oh, that is
Oh,
true.
yeah,
he
he's
would
not-
not
oh, yeah,
count as
he's
a
not
rookie.
I forgot he played in fucking Vanguard.
Wait,
What,
like,
what was his
why is-
Spencer?
Played,
Oh, was he in Cold War too?
He was on Zuma's team, right?
He was
No.
on
Did he play
Florida in
Cold
Cold War.
Was he?
Yeah.
I think it was with Zuma.
That's how
I was
got
on
picked
Seattle,
up.
so
He
I
was on
blacked out
Mutineers
that
all
whole
year.
year. I blacked out that whole year from memory, so I don't know.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think it's his
I was in
third
Seattle,
time in the
Chelly.
league.
Brother, you were with Gunless and
Yeah, blacked it all out.
Okay, sorry.
Sam
So
is,
what are our options? Falcons, Lunars, and Rancor?
Basically.
Gotta go Rancor there.
the wild card in this is if someone gets picked up after this major and just comes in and fries. Some
Yeah.
random challengers like a Merc or an Encourage or a Lurks. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Kicks is a dark horse, LOL. I fear that is not an
Shit.
option here either. Yeah, not the best rookie class, but maybe somebody will pop off here in the back end of the season. You never know. We still got over half the season left. Last question, because we were talking about Crim earlier. This one I saw on Reddit in a little bit, and 100T Void asked this on Twitter. If C9 or C6 wasn't racing, do you think it'd be a great CDL coach? The analysis he had on optics loss is pretty good. What do you think, Cap, as ball coach?
Crim will not be a coach.
Go ahead, Cap.
Crim will not coach.
Well,
Crim
hold on.
will
Let me.
lose his shit.
Yeah, you think you tweak too much?
Dude, if I
Listen, man, I had my flaws coaching because I'm very much
you're a perfectionist.
I know how you
Perfectionist.
tweet me in FIFA. I know how you go.
yeah, I'm a perfectionist. Crim is like a next level perfectionist psychopath. I don't even mean psychopath in a bad way. Crim's
It's like savant level shit.
yeah, Crim has like that psychopathic gene that like great athletes have. Like, I don't think that works well as a coach.
You can't convey your thoughts in a way that is healthy at all.
Yeah.
Dude, we lost Anaheim in World War II, and the first thing Porter says was, dude, our fucking off angles were shit. I said,
The mind gym book story is fun with Crim.
Dude, oh man, listening to Porter coach would be so funny because he's obviously one of the greatest players ever, if not the greatest. And like he has a mind for COD that's, obviously the greatest, but I don't think that he has the ability to manage personalities because that's also something in coaching you have to do is like determine your players, the type of personalities they have, how they handle criticism, and you have to teach them the game sometimes. And I just don't think that Porter has the emotional capacity to really do that. So,
Yeah,
I mean, he's obviously, bro, he's just probably one of the smartest players of all time, but coaching is just not for him.
Tom brought him in to watch some some Stallions scrims, and he was I forget who they were playing against actually. I think they were playing against the CDL team, and then Crim was like breaking down what they were doing wrong. It's pretty entertaining.
I mean, you could show Crim a mini map in 20 years and he'll still tell you the right and wrong play. But I'm sure where he's at in life, he just has zero desire to coach.
I agree. Talking to Porter, I think he's really hyper focused on this racing thing. He's doing a lot, like the lifestyle change, the things that he is doing to fully commit to this and to reach his goals are pretty significant. So I think coaching is nowhere close on his mind. And I agree with Cap. Like, I think breaking down gameplay and like day-to-day identifying trends and all that he could do, but you got to be able to manage the personalities effectively to like prevent real blowouts and team change positions, but also figure out how to get the team at 100% motivation every day. Like that shit is not easy. So I don't know if you'd want to deal with all that.
Yeah. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that room though.
He'd be
listening to Porter just absolutely fucking tweak, dude. I would love it.
Porter would be like Tibbs, bro.
I don't watch that shit sport.
Fucking Tom Thibodeau, just straight, just always a frown on his face, always raging, always saying what the fuck. Like that's how I imagine him as a coach.
Yeah, because he's the type of person that like expect a play to happen with like out conveying the thought that the play should happen to his player, and then when it doesn't, he'll like freak out on him.
I feel like Europeans in my chat, brother. He's a basketball coach. Just look at a picture of him and get my point.
Yeah. Very good tips.
Good questions. We'll obviously every episode try to do community questions at the end. So thank you for those that submitted and we answered. Guys, any final topics or things you want to cover before we wrap it up?
I hope we get some upsets in the minor. I hope it's not as cookie cutter as everyone's bracket actually makes it out to be, as long as LAT doesn't lose.
You just picked a cookie cutter bracket.
Of course I did, because that's the logical thing to do, because all these teams, it's just the win conditions of every team. I can't come on here and be like, fuck it, bro, vibes, Falcons beating OpTic.
You don't have to pick that, but you can pick,
you know,
you can feel about an upset. You can go ahead and throw some.
If there's one, it is the Ravens one, in my opinion. But I'm not going to pick it because I'm biased.
Of course.
It's just
naturally.
It's tough to pick upsets, but I think they'll happen just because a team that's on a bye and playing a team that's hot, we're in flow on some upset going into that matchup. That's where we'll see upsets. But we'll cover them next week with our recap and thoughts from that, and we'll also preview as well the matches coming up next weekend. After this weekend, we have 2 more bursts of online matches. Actually, let's wrap up. Let's take a look at real quick the standings for the major, and I think we can do some thoughts on maybe who we think will make losers bracket. Probably Vegas and LAG, but do we think OpTic's a losers bracket team? What do we think?
OpTic have Toronto again, and they have like a Miami and they're in an LAG or something like that. They could be a
Miami,
losers bracket
Toronto,
team.
Thieves, LAG.
Yeah. Wow, just actually, yeah, that could be a losers team for sure.
Killing them too is their map count.
Insane, yeah.
Like that's
Not doing any favors.
some tiebreakers might come into play here, and
I'm thinking if I take a guess.
Ben, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
We need to go back like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I think 2 episodes where we were talking about OpTic after they dropped or made the roster change with Huke. We need to go back. I like very clearly remember someone saying that there was no shot in hell that they started losers. I just remember it very well. I'll go back and get the clip. It might have been
all
you.
of us.
No,
I don't think so because
shit.
I've been saying for a while that people got to be prepared for them to be like 3-4, 4-3, and then absolute gruel.
I just remember our conversation being like, "Oh, how much time do we give them before you're concerned?" And I was the one who was kind of like, "Not that much time. Like if they're good, they should be good pretty damn quickly."
Yeah.
And now we know we should be fucking concerned.
Now we know there's shit. Yeah, I think OpTic's and losers, which is tough. Ring ceremony, home major, that's tough. Falcons, obviously. LAG. I'm gonna go Boston on my last one.
This is why. That's their schedule. I just don't see it, bro.
Yeah, I like that pick.
I don't even know the schedule. I'm going on vibes. I think that team is terrible. That's good. That's a good pick out of me. That's good fucking intuition.
Well, I figured that's where I was gonna go, where you were gonna go.
Like, go back to the standings quick.
I think what 3 wins is probably in.
Dude, the fact that
go ahead.
Like there's so many teams 500 or above makes it extra hard for OpTic to now like climb that gap. I
think they're fucked.
Like there's so many teams already with 2 wins. Like they're gonna have to. The only way they get into winners is if like
they got to win out probably.
Yeah.
Win at least 3 and hope some of these teams with 2 wins lose out. Like it's
the 0-9 map count is really tough because they probably don't have head-to-head tiebreaker against a couple of teams they've lost to, like Minnesota or Carolina. And yeah, like it's just we saw it last year. Major 4, a team went 3-4. Carolina, they needed to try and make winners bracket to have a good chance to qualify for champs, and they did not get the 3-4 thing.
Yeah, that might be fucked.
Yeah, I agree with you, Paradox. I think essentially, they don't have to 3 everybody. They get the 4 wins they're in. I don't know if there's a bracket scenario that exists where like 9 teams are 4-3. I don't think that's possible. So I think you get the 4 wins, you're auto in, but I don't see it. I think they're going to lose.
Yeah, the 0-9. The 0-9 is a dagger.
So that'd be tough for OpTic. It's obviously tough for them running the event and not getting an OpTic draw on that first day, but it is what it is. They've really struggled off the rip here. So we'll see what they do next week. Obviously, they're in the minor this week as well. Going to play Toronto and Vegas, and then Toronto probably. So we'll see about that. But that'll do it for today's show. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Obviously, you can follow everybody here on social media and check out everybody's Twitch stream. Even Chelly be streaming these days. Sweating out bets and nights.
Dude, he's playing with Teach tonight, man.
No, there is an insane clip of Chelly that I wish I need to find. Hold on, we need to find this to close out the show.
What, the S&D clip?
No, not the S&D clip. The U balloon fucking from
me raging after USA lost to Team Canada, and yeah, gotcha.
This clip.
All good, man. It's their sport.
This clip.
Yeah.
But let's see, this 4X, he comes back with the hockey stick. Yeah, now we're. Yeah.
Oh my god.
My god, you're losing your head.
Yeah, I mean, this guy I used to live with, Trent, sitting there celebrating Canada money line like he's not born and raised in Texas.
You bet on Canada?
Yeah, dude.
That's criminal.
He's celebrating.
If he bet on the US, they would have won. That's insane.
Yeah.
No, well, Trent's a piece of shit, not a patriot. I heard.
Piece of shit.
Anyway,
You should beat his ass.
follow everybody on social media. Follow them on. We'll put everybody's socials and Twitch streams or whatever in the chat. We'll see some of y'all at Major 2 as well. And yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you all so much.